Hey, you guys. I am loving this live button. It's really making it so convenient for me to stay in touch with you guys. You don't have to shoot a video, edit it in Adobe Pro, and do all this stuff. I can literally just go live with you guys. Awesome. I'm winding my day down, and something crossed my mind. And I was like, damn, I really never forgot that shit either. And I figure I'd come on here and share it with you all because you can learn something from it if you don't already know. I think I'm gonna cut this fan on. I have my fan on in the room. The weather kind of broke out of winter today and we had like over 70 degrees, which was wonderful. But I borderline feel like I need to cut my air conditioner on now because I get hot very easily. And yeah, I've been moving and shaking, so let me sit down. But yeah, I know you guys like, what the hell? What did a narcissist tell you that you never forgot? First of all, just to put things into context, this person, first of all, I'll never forget this person. All right. You can definitely learn something from a narcissist. You know, it's not going to feel good while you're learning it, but you damn sure can learn something. This person, in particular, abused me. Like, this was the number one abuser right here. Definitely. Like no one has ever, and still to this day. I mean, I wouldn't even get that far with someone to allow a repeat of this, but yeah, no one talked to me so nasty in my life. Like I've never, like, I'm going to tell you the thing that I'll never forget. This person actually said two things to me that I would never forget. And you guys are going to gasp for air. But the second one, I didn't intend on sharing it, but perhaps I will. It's nasty. But the one that made me do this live, this was during a time, once the mask had dropped in the situation, and the person was definitely devaluing me in plain sight, you know. And sidebar, because I will forget this if I don't say it now. Like when I think about the cycle of abuse with the narcissist, to me, they're devaluing you right from the beginning. We just don't know it yet. Because the value is they're playing the mind games. They're trying to pull one over on you. That manipulation, the bait and switch type of shit. Like they're already devaluing your common sense and your ability, to be able to read situations or taking advantage of your naiveness or, overly trusting somebody, whatever the case, your tender heart, whatever it is in that situation that allowed you to not only attract this person, but go through even one cycle of abuse with them. And hey, Cherry, and hey, Derek. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome, Derek. I'm glad that I helped you get out of your situation. But yeah, so this person mask had clearly dropped. I knew who they were, and it invoked like all the human feelings inside of me, all the dark sided ones, or the anger and mad and rage. It even invoked me to rage, you guys. And during one of our arguments, he said to me, "You're so smart that you're stupid." That's what he said to me that I'll never forget. And it's been quite a while since that statement was made to me. You know, over 8 years ago now, when that situation happened. But he said I was so smart that I was stupid. And I didn't understand that statement when he said it to me in that moment because we were going back and forth in an argument. And what he had done at that time, because he knew what he had done to me, he had baited me in for this argument and he wanted a trail of evidence that my character wasn't so good. So once I got to rage with him, I was cursing this fool out. And fool is a very nice word to give him at this point. Um, yeah, I cursed him out. I said all types of things back to him as well. He was recording these things. He was making a record of it so that he could show his family to protect his images. So if I were to come and say something, and he let me know, he actually was pretty upfront after I released this stuff on him. And you know how that is. You take so much from this person, and then it's always more than what meets the eye. And this person really reveals um, all of the ways that they betrayed you, like all the shit, like it was even more than that. And you're going to feel some kind of way. And he came back to, get some evidence on me to make me look like something I wasn't. Now, this is what I've said years ago to you guys. Like, if you were to go before a judge, or if the police were called to a scene and both of you were on 100, they wouldn't know who the crazy one was. Who's the person who really started it? They don't know the backstory. They don't know none of that. And a narcissist knows this. And that's why I believe, was it earlier today or yesterday or in the last few live chats, and I've talked about being so zen in situations where people try to bait me in. I don't take it. And I think I literally said it today, like, that's where you are. I'm going to stay right here. And I was like, people might think that I'm being vindictive or trying to get under their skin by not coming up there with them. But I learned that lesson out of that situation right there. Now, that person had every right. Like, everything I said was very true, but the way that I delivered it, it was very unsavory, and it would make me look a certain way to someone that did not know me. But that's what he said. He said, "You're so smart that you're stupid." You know, that's exactly what he said to me. And that's something, a lesson that you guys can take. Sometimes you can be so right that you're wrong. And I'm not saying that it was wrong for me to vent on him that way, but I was so much in my emotions. He got under my skin and pulled me to such a level that I wasn't even thinking about other angles. I didn't even consider it. Like, I just gave in to my emotions because I was so tired of being emotionally in control as it is. And it's like, I'm a minimally give him a piece of my mind. But like I said, he was using that against me in that moment. And he said, "You're so smart that you're stupid." Fast forward, the roles have definitely reversed, you guys. I will tell you that God vindicated me in this situation in such a way that he definitely feels like a sucker and a fool for life. So it was one of those situations, and I'll say this to anyone else that got baited in and did the work, and now you're on the other side. They might get the first laugh, but they damn sure don't get the last one. So he had his moment, but thanks to him, he was a catalyst. It's because of him that I made this damn channel. Like, I wrote 4 books. Like, this person, like, so much good came out of it. Like, he was so horrible to me, and so much lemonade came out of those lemons, So I know for a fact, even though I won't ever forget that phrase that he said to me, he will never forget me, period. Me, period. Because I know I'm not the only person that this person has mistreated in life, but I'm damn sure the one who made them lemons into lemonade in a way that nobody in his life ever has and ever will. Like, he will never forget me. As a matter of fact, um, years down the line, this person tried to reconnect with me many a times. It fizzled out because I think it just got to the point where I'm sure that he listens to this channel, and he has to know right now, whatever level he had on me back then, because he was this person. I don't want to call him a master manipulator, but he was definitely not an amateur. I'll say that. But at this point, his brain power and whatever level of manipulation he thinks he has, he knows that there's nothing he could ever fool me with again in life. Like, I'm about 1,000. Like if he was on Earth, I'm at the fucking moon. Like that's how far away my intelligence is to him. And it doesn't mean I'm a manipulative person, but I understand emotional maturity and psychology and people like that. And people that even aren't like that. But I just understand the dark side of human nature and all that shit. So it's nothing. He don't have no play. There's no angle for him to ever try with me again. All he could ever do is keep his tail between his legs and stay the fuck over there. And probably regret doing that to me. But he regret it for the wrong reason. You know, the only regret is that he's not able to sit at my table. That's the real reason why the regret would be there. Not because he was wrong and abusive, but because he fucked himself out of access. That's what that is. But yeah, that's the number one thing. He said I was so smart that I was stupid. Yep, he said that. Now the second thing, I'm still debating on whether I should say this to you guys because it's raunchy as hell, but it is at nighttime, at least where I am, and we are all adults. But damn, it was cold. And the crazy thing is, I've never even heard this phrase before this incident with this person. And I was like, damn, what type of animal, like what type of person would say something like that to somebody? And I don't know, maybe somebody can let me know because I did share it with a friend of mine at the time, and she was like, oh, you never heard that phrase before, girl? I was like, what? That's crazy. Who would say that to somebody? But the second thing that he said, which was pretty vile, and this person sexually abused me, and he told me to suck a dick with AIDS on its tip. That's what he told me. That's what he told me, to suck a dick with AIDS on a motherfucking tip. Yep. That's what the person said. So, you know, when I come on this channel, you guys, I have stories. I have stories, not with a million people. It didn't take me a million people to get this shit. But that one person in a short amount of time did so much shit to me. In a very, like, it don't take years. Like some people stay with a narcissist for years. But I'm telling you, letting them people in your life, even for 1 second, could be inviting some shit you will never fucking forget, some transformative type of shit. So yeah, that was evil. That was fucking evil. I wonder, like, I never really thought about whether this person was a sociopath or a psychopath. Um, I want to lean more towards sociopath because I know more about this person's background, you know. But yeah, that was fucked up. And as I came home today, I just thought about that statement. You're so smart that you're dumb. I really wanted to share that with you guys because that's what I'm sure he's not the only narcissist or emotionally manipulative person that would think this way when they know that they're setting a trap for somebody in some type of way, you know? So just try not to run off your emotions, you guys. And shit. But even before all that, learning how to read people better. And I'll say in that particular situation with that person, God had warned me about that person. And I believe he was calling me. I know God was calling me to distance myself, not distance myself, but let this person go. And what I did was I kept 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And that's like giving somebody an inch, somebody like that an inch. And as long as they have a little bit of access to you, is damn near means all access, you know, because they'll wiggle their way back in somehow. That's why we have no contact. And that relationship, I literally had to get counseling after that. I had nightmares at times, and man, I had a lot to rebalance myself for after that. Panic attacks, like PTSD for a fact. because I went through some things. I did. I just went through some changes with that. But you know what, you guys, I'm here today. I can talk about this and not really feel too much because that's how much work I've done on it. I could just talk about this logically at this point. But during the healing process, it was hurtful. It was hurtful. So if I'm telling you those two things that this person said, you can imagine all types of bitches and all types of other unsavory things that were said to me. There was a lot of verbal abuse in that relationship, and and I won't say in the relationship. It was basically after the discard, and it was the arguments where I needed to feel heard. Like I went through a phase with this person where I felt like, nah, it ain't gonna just be like that. You're not gonna just do all of this to me and not hear a fucking word. Not I felt like I needed to be heard by this person, and I couldn't have been wronger, even though I know that's not a word intellectually. Because guess what? I said all this shit to this person, and they still didn't hear me. And hopefully, in your emotional intelligence, you know what I mean by that. Like they weren't really listening. They weren't really feeling what I was saying. He wasn't even attempting to do that. And that's how, on the channel, I could confidently say that these people, they'll take the negative supply. That's where I learned all of that from. That situation. This person was happy if he could stir me up and get an argument out of me for the day. You know, that was like his high for the day. And later on, when I sat back and really started connecting the dots and really understanding how this shit works, I was like, wow, like I was really playing into his hand at certain times, whether I wanted him back or not, because I didn't want him back. But the fact that I needed some type of validation, I needed to try to ruin his day, which it didn't. It didn't ruin his day. If anything, he was sitting back laughing. He was laughing at that. That was just something for him to do. And it was on to the next, whatever other shit he had going on for the day. He was sleeping good, probably. Unless, what, I won't even speak too soon. I don't know at a certain point what God could have been dealing with him, my ancestors or whatever the fuck could have came on his ass, because you do reap what you sow. But I can say at least at a certain point he wasn't phased, before it was time for him to pay the piper, whenever that time is. But uh, definitely, definitely want part of his karma is being able to, from a distance, see what the fuck I am now. Like, because I really feel like this person tried to snatch my fucking soul. Like, he wanted me, like, the dark energy, the devil, whatever you want to call that. They wanted that person to fuck me up. It didn't work, but it definitely gave me something to think about. It definitely gave me something to think about. So I say all of this also to say, no matter what somebody else has done to you, like if you still have breath in your body, you ain't brain dead, you can still recuperate from that. You can still get back to a good place, you guys. All is not lost. And even if you have PTSD at a certain point, you can move away from that. Panic and anxiety attacks, nightmares, you can heal from all that. Like the more work you do, the less that stuff starts happening, you know? Now it's been years. It's been years since I've had nightmares and panic attacks about this shit. Years. Years. Okay. So there's another side to this situation. But hopefully this wasn't too dark and heavy for anybody. But I'm pretty much of an open book, generally speaking. I don't mind sharing with you guys. And God must have wanted me to. All right. So I don't see any comments here for me to respond back to. With that being said, like the video if you do like this story time or whatever. I can, open up about other things with you guys as they come to me, or I feel that I should, Um, yeah, but it's gonna be all right. I'm sorry for anyone that has had to go through this, but God can always use stuff for your good. I'll tell you that. It can always be used for your good. All right. All right, you guys, take care, stay well, never give up on yourself, of course. I love you guys, and I will talk to you in the next chat.